Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk. Another Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. This one's Texas Chainsaw 3D. Coming at ya. Yeah, I looked on Letterboxd before delving into this one, just to see what I was letting myself in for, see what score it had. 1.9 out of 5, which really filled me with confidence going in. Once again, I'm sure it will come as no surprise to anyone that I don't think this is a good film. However, I did enjoy it a lot more than the average Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I did enjoy it more than the remake. Now, would I say it's a better film than the remake? No, I don't think so, but if it comes to a choice between watching either one, I think I would rather watch this one again. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw 3D. It follows this character played by Alexandra Daddario, who basically is a surviving member of the family, although she doesn't know it. She was taken out of the family when they were all kind of killed off in one final last hurrah at the beginning of the film, which is quite entertaining, it must be said. And then she basically inherits the house, the family house, not knowing, even though she's told in a letter, but not knowing that Leatherface still lurks somewhere underneath. She's been asked to look after him by the woman who left her the house. So yeah, when she doesn't read this letter, doesn't realise what's there, who's there, all hell breaks loose. Now, I gotta say, there are two major things really with this film that just really let it down. One, it is supposedly set 20 years after the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, this is one of those sequels that ignores all the movies that have come before except the original. It does a Halloween 2018 thing on it, before Halloween 2018 was even a thing. So yeah, this is basically a direct sequel to that original film. So 20 years, give or take, you know, judging on how old this main character is, played by Daddario. 20 years from 1974 takes us to 94, and yet characters are all running around with smartphones, videoing things and stuff like that. So clearly there is no sense of period detail whatsoever at all has been kind of paid. No mind has been paid to it. So that right there is just a big no-no. It's stupid. It's dumb. However, if you can get over that and just imagine it's in some kind of alternate universe where they do have that technology, then you can get over that hurdle. The second big thing that is really badly handled in this film is the ending. The last 10 minutes. Spoilers, as if you didn't know already. I'm assuming anyone watching this review has seen this film, to be honest. Yeah. So Daddario's character, basically, she finds out what her history is. She finds out about how the townsfolk essentially wiped out her blood relatives in one kind of spray of bullets and fire. And she chooses a side. Essentially, she chooses her family's side. She chooses to side with Leatherface. She basically helps him escape at the end and helps him do his work, do what he does best, I think, as she puts it at one point. Which is all well and good. I don't mind that so much. Certainly the plotting of it, I think it could have been written better, but as far as a plot goes, I think it's genuinely a good move. The film is all about this idea that blood is thicker than water. It's all about, you know, you are who you are made, or you are who you are genetically programmed to be. You know, it's that nature versus nurture thing. Who do you choose to be? Ultimately, who are you going to let your allegiance fall with? And you know, the film essentially says it's always going to be family. You know, does she have that psychotic gene in her simply by virtue of having that blood run through her veins, or is it a choice? Is it a social thing? It deals with all that stuff, and I like it for that reason. That's one of the things that entertained me. It's one of the things that kept me engaged with this main character. She is one of the most interesting central characters throughout any of these Texas Chainsaw movies. But as I say, the ending is totally botched, because when she does flip sides, she's kind of helped along by the sheriff of the town, who up until this point has shown himself to be of high moral fibre, you know, who will do what's right, not what is easy. And so when he just kind of washes his hands of it all at the end, and she goes about her merry way with Leatherface back to the family home to do Lord only knows what, it just loses me completely loses me with that ending. It's a terribly handled ending. Yeah, did not like it. But as I say, everything else in the film with regards to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre was about as entertaining and as engrossing as this franchise could possibly get for me. I honestly, honest to God, will say that. I know this film is ripped to shreds. Clearly, it's got a 1.9 on Letterboxd. But yeah, you fix that ending and you sort out the attention to period detail, this is the best Texas Chainsaw movie. If you fix those things, as it stands, it's not. But if you fix those two things, this would have, yeah, when I come to do my ranking, it would have made number one. So yeah, unfortunately, those errors, those points of contention do stand, so it isn't that great. Unfortunately, that ending does suck ass so much that it really does lower the grade of the film. So yeah, but I like Daddario in the role. I like the performance of the guy playing Leatherface. I like how they kind of make him look a bit more like he did in the original film. Obviously, you know, like for obvious reasons. There are a lot of callbacks to that original film, and I'm kind of half and half on it. Half of them I'm just like, yeah, what's the point? We don't need that. Like seeing the armadillo on the road. Is it an armadillo? Is that what you call them? I think they're called armadillos. The upturned armadillo that's on the road, that just like it was in the original, and it's just like, really? Do we need that? Do we need that reference just to say that the filmmakers are like, you know, we're fans? So what? So yeah, stuff like that kind of annoys me. It always does when they do that in sequels. It's not something that they just kind of leave for horror. It gets done all over the place. But yeah, I don't like it when they do it. But yeah, for the most part, the characters, I really like the collection we get here. We get a lot of different bad guys and good guys, and her friends turn out to be douchebags, or two of them do anyway. Her boyfriend and her supposed best friend. But the guy that she hooks up with, the guy that her friend hooks up with, is a really nice guy. And when he cops it, I feel sorry for the dude, because he's only just got with this girl, and he doesn't know that she's kind of cheating on him behind his back. So yeah, you feel sorry for him. He's only just kind of made acquaintance with these guys, and it's got him killed. One of the strengths of the film as well is that we don't have the family. You know, this is something that I've said time and time again throughout this series, because we have all these different family members and they're all so debauched. I switch off. It's not for me. It turns into torture porn, and while there is a bit of that torture, well, there's a lot of that torture porn stuff here. I like that we only have Leatherface. I like that he's become a solo act in this film, and I like that they can zone in on him so much that I can actually get a tiny modicum of sympathy for him because of his mental nature, and again, that nature versus nurture thing. Had he been given to someone who knew how to treat people, who knew how to love a child, then he wouldn't be who he is. So yeah, because of that, I can sympathise with with this guy in this film, and I never have been in all the others, because I don't know, just being caught up with that whole family so much, it's just like I just want to wipe all of them off the face of the earth and be done with it. So yeah, I for me personally, it's a bit more traditional slasher-esque, because we've only got the one guy going around killing people, but for me it was all the better for it. Two of the characters as well that are quite interesting are the mayor and his son. So his son is one of the police officers. He works with the sheriff, and I like the dynamic that's going on there. I like that the mayor is this guy who basically instigated the attack against the family at the beginning of the film, who, you know, wiped out the family except for Daddario's character and Leatherface. And yeah, you know, he's the guy who essentially, in the previous films, we would have been rooting for. We would have wanted this guy to come along and do what he does. And yet in this film they do a switch on it, and they show us that actually no, that isn't the mentality to have. You know, what he did was wrong, and he becomes a villain as a result of doing it. It is that thing that actually, you know, if you kill the killers, you become just as bad as the killers. I like that it highlights that. And I also like the twist with the son. You kind of, well, I didn't see it coming anyway. Once Daddario's boyfriend, once you learn that he's cheating on her, and then this police officer kind of starts to come in on the scene, you think, oh right, well clearly the boyfriend's a douche, so we want him to get with this guy. And that's a trope that I usually don't like in films. It bugs me. So when they do a twist on it, and this guy actually turns out to be a douche as well, and he's the mayor's son, I liked that. That came as a surprise. I didn't see it coming, and it was a nice twist. So yeah, all in all, I think this film is much better than people give it credit for. I still don't think it's a good film. As I say, I just think some of the character motivations, just no. Some of the dialogue is terrible. The last 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes is truly awful. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a real shame. But yeah, I'm afraid I can't quite call this good. Which it's a shame, because I've just gone on about all the positives of it. I'm actually sat here talking rather excitedly about a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, which I never thought would happen whilst doing this series, honestly. But just because of those faults that are there, and they are quite glaring, I am still gonna have to give this a 2.5 out of 5. It is one of the better entries, I think, personally. I know a lot of people are going to think I'm smoking crack, but hey ho, that's the way these things crumble sometimes. Yeah, but still only a 2.5 out of 5. I probably won't choose to watch it again, to be honest. But if somebody forces me to watch a Texas Chainsaw film, this would probably be the one that I stick on just for sheer entertainment value. Still not the best of the series, but certainly the most entertaining. So yeah, there you go, 2.5 out of 5 from me. But what about you? Have you seen this film? Do you think it's as bad as people make out? Or, like me, do you think it's one of the better entries in the franchise? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to support this channel, I do have a Patreon page. Please head on over there. There's lots of perks, different packages that you can go for, in which you get stuff in return, obviously. And yeah, show some support for the channel. But as I say, thank you for watching, and until next time, cracking.